Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Tonya. I'm the host of the Mucho Dinero TV show, and I have some special guests on here today. I have none other than Dr. Don, Mr. Dovid, and Miss Leslie. They are all leaders, and I'm not sure if Dr. Don is also a founder, but I do know that Dovid is a founder, and I know that Leslie is a founder of Hindi's Libraries. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being on the Mucho Dinero TV show today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So, what I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce each person. If it's okay, Dr. Dawn, I would like to start with you. I want to congratulate you for all of your award-winning books. Congratulations! I've been, supporting you, and I feel like we're sisters from two different mothers. Welcome to the platform.
Well, thank you for having me.
So, will you tell us a little bit about yourself, Dr. Dawn?
I have a PhD in curriculum instruction. I teach students with moderate to severe disabilities. I've been doing it for almost 30 years. I also have an educational series that's named after my grandmother and has my students in it, my friends, my families. It's based on my adventures. It's won over 82 awards now. And so I do that on the side. And this is how I met Hindi's Libraries. We did an interview years ago, and they did a couple of things for promoting my books. And then about a year ago, they asked me to be on the board. So this is all very new for me. And so I also am a professor at the local university, and I teach new teachers. So I enjoy doing all of that. So they are the experts on Hindi's Libraries.
Welcome, and listening audience. If you want to get in contact with Dr. Dawn, her Facebook information is right there. And thank you so much, Dr. Dawn, for being on the broadcast today. And welcome to your new role in this nonprofit. Um, by the way, listening audience, if you have some friends that love children, if you know of mothers, if you know of fathers, if you know of educators, this is the time for you to share this video out. This is the time also for you to just ask everybody to come on, because this is MLK Day, and we're celebrating it by talking to Hindi's Libraries. So what I'd like to do is, Leslie, would you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. Hi, my name is Leslie Gang. I am a co-founder of Hindi's Libraries with Dovid. In addition to this role, I am the director of communications and admissions at a private school in Long Island. I've been in the nonprofit sector for about 20 years almost. And in addition, I also have written a children's book, which won not as many awards as Dawn. I think only 3. But it's a really cute book. And actually, I wrote it during COVID, and all proceeds that come back my way go right to the nonprofit. And yeah, I'm a big theater nerd and Disney nerd, and that's really me.
Oh, awesome, awesome. What's the name of your book, Leslie?
My book is called But Family is Forever, and it reminds readers about the importance of family. And throughout the pages, you will see every page will have a different family dynamic that won't look like your cookie cutter family necessarily, just to also show the readers that not all families look exactly alike.
Awesome, awesome. I love that. Where could the listening audience find your book?
Oh, sure. So my book is available on Amazon. And I'll stick the link for you guys right here. There's a little quick link there. I'll stick it and you guys can read it.
Thank
And
you.
again, all proceeds that come my way go directly to the nonprofit to help us ship our books.
Thank you. That's really admirable of you. I love it. Leslie, welcome to Mucho Dinero TV show.
Thank
And
you.
now what I'd like to do is I would like to introduce Dovid, Mr. Dovid. I cannot pronounce your last name. I'm sorry.
Kanarfogel. That's not so bad. Thank you. Yeah, my name is David Kanarfogel. I am an attorney, and 4 years ago, Hindi, who I was married to for 12 amazing years, passed away very suddenly. Hindi was a literacy educator. She had a doctorate in literacy education. She taught in a local high school, also here on Long Island. And at the time, through grief and through trying to have growth and all that stuff, we thought about what we could do. And we kind of ended up in children's literacy, collecting just used children's books from our friends and neighbors and then finding places for kids who needed those books. Not every kid has access to a book. And when you do have access, you take access to books for granted very easily. And we were able to make like small connections between families and friends and people who needed them. And it just has grown from there, with no intentionality at the beginning, and now with a lot of intentionality. Hindy's Libraries is now a registered 501c3. We've partnered with hundreds of nonprofits around the country and the world. We have shipped over 400,000 books at this point, and we are constantly looking for new donors, new places to give, new organizations to partner with, new initiatives to promote literacy, and new ways to celebrate the power of reading. Hindi was a huge believer in the personal power of literacy and the communal power of literacy, as a way of allowing people to achieve goals that they didn't know that they could, and a way of bringing a community together and bringing communities to new places. So it's
awesome.
Really a pleasure to be here, and thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, Dovid, for being a part of the program today. And I want to say I'm sorry to hear about your loss, and I congratulate you, because even though I know your wife is no longer here, I know that she's proud of you, and what you're doing, is just so awesome. So 400,000 books so far. Wow.
Yeah. Again, we started really family and friends in our own local neighborhood, and it quickly grew out of that. It was friends in other neighborhoods, and then it was people nearby us from schools that we had no affiliation with that just happened to come across us on Facebook or in some short newspaper article or something like that. And then people around the country and around the world. And we've met wonderful authors like Dawn, who we, reached out with as part of just a literacy promotion kind of campaigns. And that has grown into new relationships and new connections, new opportunities, new challenges, but also new fun ideas that, hey, maybe let's try this, to find a new donor or to do something fun for literacy. We've partnered with public schools in New York City, women's shelters in Oregon. Just reading and children's literacy are so easy to get what the problem is. And giving a book to a kid who doesn't have a book, you can't imagine an easier, less controversial way of improving the world. So it's just something that it feels like anybody who hears about it wants to get involved, and sometimes getting involved is handing us a book or handing a book in your own community. And so it's been this never ending, in a good way, growing thing that we're able to do. And again, it's just so easy to feel good about.
Yeah, and I love it. I am a nerd, and I love being a nerd. I love reading. I love books, and I'm trying not to be so personal on the show today, but I have 4 grandchildren, and ages 11 until all the way up to 10 months. And they just recently spent the Christmas holiday with me, and I read books to each one of those grandchildren. So if you could see, I have 2 bookshelves over here on the side of me that are just full of books. And it's so full of books that I have the books turned to the side to push more in there. You guys, I have a book addiction, to be honest with you. And I've just loved reading books ever since I can remember. Another small story that I'd like to share with the 3 of you and with the listening audience is that I think I was about 4 or 5 years old when my mother taught me how to read. My mom taught me how to read. So I've been reading that long. And what I love about reading is that you're able to just travel the world through reading. And there's something about actually holding those books in hands. So either 3 of you, one of you or all of you, what have you, can you please tell us how I can help with your new initiative, the book initiative, and how the listening audience can help you all? Let's keep Hindy's dream alive.
So actually, we're here to talk about this amazing initiative we're trying to kick off for Black History Month in February. Basically, we were contacted by the executive office at DHL, like one of the biggest shippers in the world. And they told us that they would happily ship 7,000 books to 7,000 children in the country, featuring characters of color. In theory, this is fantastic. In practice, we are looking for 7,000 books specifically like this. So when we volunteer, we will pick out like 50 books a week that match the description. And we're really like in gung-ho mode. We're reaching out to publishers and authors and readers and book owners. If you have a book that features a child of color that can be shipped out for Black History Month, that is our goal. We will ship that to DHL and they'll handle it. They're very much looking forward to this, and we are too. I just got an email the other day that one author is trying to send us 100 books. So that's great, 6,900 to go. But we're really working on it. We're hoping we can all kind of group together to get this, because it's such a wonderful offer. To think about 7,000 kids who are going to get this book where they see themselves on the cover, in the pages. If you look at the statistics, I don't have them on me, but it's like between 13 and 20% of books feature characters of color. Everyone else is predominantly a white character. So if we can do our part during Black History Month to get those books out there, we want to do that. So we're trying really hard to get it done. And if you're listening and you've got these books, reach out to us, shoot us a message on Instagram or Facebook or through the website, and we'll tell you how to get them our way. If it's 1 or 2 books, you could ship them directly to us. If it's a whole box of books, because you are a publisher and you have thousands of these books, we will send you more cost-effective ways to get them to us so that we could get them to DHL and we could get them out to the kids.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So what I'm asking all of the listening audience to do is to join me by sending at least 7 books, because that's what I'm openly saying to you guys today. A minimum of 7 books. You'll probably end up getting a lot more, though, to be honest with you. But I just love the number 7. And everybody that's listening, please give at least, you can 7 books. So it's 7 books of people of color. And I'm pretty sure that we could find those books. If we had to, we could go through Amazon. We could actually, there's just so many different ways to get those books. And I think that's so important. You guys know exactly where the books are going to be going in the world, or
yes.
Once you ship them out? Okay.
Yes, actually, we're looking to partner with another organization that we've done work with called First Book Marketplace. And they always send books, not for free, but at wholesale cost. They always partner with Title I schools and other nonprofits featuring children in need, predominantly in low-income communities, minority communities. So they actually are guaranteeing us the addresses of these children. So that's for sure not even an issue, thank goodness. We have that part at least covered. So it's children within schools and within predominantly, low-income communities where there are no books. They're called book deserts, which are communities that there are no libraries, no bookstores, no really free access for children to have their books. They're sending us that. And it's going to be going within the United States this time. DHL is shipping it. And our goal is to try to get all 50 states involved so we can really represent this month.
Well, Nevada's in the house, so I'm going to represent. I'm in Nevada. My sister's already, shout out to my sister. She's listening on the live right now. So South Carolina is going to be represented also. But we have a lot of other states throughout the entire United States. So listen to the audience. Come on. I mean, we all can at least send 1 book. We could, but you know what? I say send 7. I say send 7. Match me with those 7 books. And I'm like, once again, I'm just so happy that you're doing this, because I know that, and I have online books also. I know that you could actually read books online. You can listen to audio books, but there's something about having that book in your hand that makes all the difference in the world. Dr. Dawn, would you like to talk about that a little bit?
They're doing a wonderful job. Like I said, I'm new at Hindy's Libraries, and just reaching out and asking people to send books. And there are some wonderful authors out there that have YouTube channels who have books. So if you don't know where to find them, it's easy to find them. Carrie Lee Carrington is one that has some wonderful books. Mrs. Ashbury, she's on Facebook. She's a teacher, and she has some wonderful books I was looking at the other day about the history. And so it's easy to find these kind of books. And 7, 10, 10's a good number.
Yeah, 10 is good.
You're supporting authors and children. And I know she said she didn't have the stats, but there's something that always comes up on Hindy's Libraries about how many children just overall do not have access to books. It's surprising. You don't think it because they're going to public school, there's libraries, and it's not really that easy for them, some of them, or it's not encouraged in the home.
Yes.
And I know when I was young, I was about in third grade, I was having trouble learning to read, and my dad sat down with me and helped me learn how to read. And then I loved to read. Now I'm writing, so I don't really get to read for fun. And I judge like 5 different literacy contests, so that's my reading that I get done. But and I write book reviews for Story Monsters, so I don't get to read for fun anymore. But if my dad had not sat down with me, I don't know if I would be a reader or a writer, or even have completed my education. So you really have to get in there and help the children.
I agree. And there's so many different comments that's been coming up on here. Somebody just said yes. Earlier, someone said that Georgia is here, so somebody from Georgia said they're going to be helping us. And people are saying that they love it. Representation matters. Just so many different comments. I didn't get all of them, you guys, but I can tell that we are. This is like what do you call it? A movement. This book initiative movement, is taking fire, and I'm hoping that you guys will be able to get more than enough. Dovid, is there anything you would like to say?
Yeah, you're making me think, Dawn, of one of Hindy's favorite like literacy statistics quote was that there was a study a long time ago that correlated, maybe not showed causation, but showed clear correlation between academic success and a number of other success markers and the number of books in the home. Now, it probably is complicated, and it means like family commitment to reading and learning, and it's not you just put some books in a house and magically a very high achieving child comes out. But having a kid holding a book, and this goes to what we were talking about holding a physical copy. When we get a lot of used book donations, obviously, and our criteria is something like, is this a book that a kid would feel good to hold in their hands and say, this is my book? That's something different that reading, doing an audio book and reading online, which are wonderful and have wonderful effects on children's literacy. I don't mean to bash those at all. But there's something really special psychologically that can happen when a child is holding a physical copy of a book. So that's what we do. Your listeners can. We are a completely volunteer-run organization. So if someone can't donate a book and just wants to make a small donation, we every single dollar that we have goes back into sending books out. If anybody knows of an organization that works with children that could use books, whether for this particular project or not, please send us that information. We'll reach out to them and we'll make sure they get books, again, whether it's a specific initiative or our ongoing initiative. I mean, that's our goal every day. Is to get books in the hands of kids like that. So following us on Facebook and things like that, those are all helpful things. They're small, but they really make a big difference.
And you just answered the question. Thank you, Dovid. Someone asked, are we able to add other communities on the list for donations? And you just answered that. So the answer to that is yes, I believe is what you just said, Dovid, that if someone knew that they could, so someone is actually sharing, they said, the Unlock Keys nonprofit organization. Okay. Someone just shared that. So you're right. There's something about so gently used books that children would be
gently used. And I meant to add before as well. We call children any kid through high school. So any book that you would feel comfortable through a high school kid getting a book. So, it can be a little more mature and a little more challenging intellectually. Yeah, there are high school kids that really have no books at home and have no opportunities to whether for this initiative see themselves in a book. There are tons of kids who don't get that chance, or to just be exposed to something different than they do see where they live. So yeah, anything that a child would read through grade 12, we'll take and get to a kid appropriately.
Awesome, thank you. And I want to add to the list of Dr. Dawn. Great points, Dovid. Dovid. I want to add to what Dr. Dawn said also, and with the names of people. I know this gentleman by name of the name of Donald Williams that have written a couple of books. And in the books, there are little African-American boys in his books. It talks about them being a king and what have you. I bought those books for my grandchildren. And then there's another person. I am going to mess her name up. It is Tati Kasawana Stevens. Her little boy wrote a book. It's a book about a little African American boy in sports. So, so those are two of the people. So if the listening audience are wondering, some of the people, like Dr. Dawn had said earlier, where they could actually buy books from, you could actually get it from those two people also. Is there anything that you guys would like to share before we end the podcast today? Because this has been like awesome for me. And I love books, period. I just love books.
I wanted to add
Go ahead, Doc.
to
Go ahead.
what he was saying is I teach students with moderate to severe disabilities. They're 12 to 22. And last year I had an author come in who has worked with Hindi's libraries also. And she read her book and she sang some songs, and every one of my students received a book. And not all of them can read. In fact, very few of them can read. We're in a low income area also. And the parents said that they wouldn't let go of the books.
Oh.
They couldn't read them. They could look at the pictures, but the author came in. They came and took pictures with her. It was really exciting for them, but they would not. I mean, one went to the barber and he wouldn't let go of the book, and the other one ran as soon as he got home, he ran in his room and hid it so that, he could keep it, so it doesn't matter if your child can actually read the words. It's holding the book in their hand and having a physical book. I mean, we have gotten so into computers and technology. It's not the same thing. It is not the same thing for a child to sit on a computer or an iPad and read a book as to have that book in their hand. Yes. So the physical copies are important.
I agree. And Dovid?
Oh yeah, I just want to. I didn't want to leave today without. Hindi loved to. She taught in high school, and she loved to teach American literature with an eye on the context of history.
Oh wow!
And so she, in addition to writing her English curriculum, she was constantly writing the history curriculum at the same time.
Wow!
And she spent a ton of time on, this is MLK Day, on teaching her students who are entirely white about civil rights in America and the history of America. And Hindi loved the quote. This quote, I looked it up because I want to get it right. A Martin Luther King quote on education. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. If you think of literacy as the doorway to education, and you think of books that show kids what good character is, books that challenge readers' minds in ways that allow them to grow and feel like they have the power to grow and to think critically and that their opinion matters. I think this just drives home what we're trying to do, and really gives a good context for them.
Thank you so much, Dovid. That was sweet. We had one reader. I'm calling her a reader. I'm sorry. This is my daughter, actually. She just said great quote because she loves quotes. So, and she loves history and she just loves reading. And I just want to thank all of you. Oh, and I have another person that said that they agree also. So thank you for sharing that quote. That was important. So what I would like to do is I would like to invite all of the listening audience. This is not a time for us to be, not really giving. This is the time to give. We should be this is a giving time for us. And 7 books, 1 book, or a donation. I believe, as you can see that, as Dovid said earlier, no gift is too small. No gift is too small. If everybody lived in the state of Nevada and gave $1, that's a huge donation.
Well, listen, one book in a kid's hand is one life that you've changed, or at least you've touched that, and you've effectively made a change in that person's life. And it takes one book, sometimes a book you already own.
Yes.
You really can make a difference with small, very seemingly small things.
Yes, I agree.
There's also a way for the sponsor to be sponsored through, if you have a corporation, you can pay and have your emblem put on the mailing labels and put in each book. And that helps ship out the books, when we have them, because they do have other books that they can ship out to other organizations. It's just the cost of the shipping that they need help with also. So if you have a great business and you want to promote it in the books, they also have that program.
Awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. So what I'd like everybody to do, if you can, one of you or all of you, please share the name of your website and also where you are on Instagram so that the listener audience will know how to get in contact with you all.
We are hindyslibraries.org, hindyslibrariesplural.org. That is our handle on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. It's at Hindy's Libraries. You could shoot us a message. We'll answer you directly. There's a link to our website and to our email address there too. Either way, we reach out. I know Dr. Tonya is sharing it. And yeah, like Dovid said, every dollar helps because we've subsidized the shipping. Every book helps. And we're here to work together. So if you're listening and you want to run a book drive in your community to benefit a nonprofit in your community, we will guide you on how to do that. Most of the time, we will match whatever you have collected in your community. We will match it and send that number of books as well from us to you. And it's a lot of fun because people don't realize that they can make a difference. I think Dawn said it correctly. You know, not only are we entranced in technology, but we've been trained to be like, it's who you know. That's how you can make a difference, right? If you don't have billions of dollars, you can't do anything good. But it's not true. Like David said, one book, you're changing the life of one kid just with sending one book for $4 in the post office, you know, or running a book drive and you collected 100 books. That's 100 children you're supporting just by posting a bit on social media. So we're here to navigate and help you and work together and get books to those kids.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't want to let you guys go, but I know we have to go. There's other things that we have to do. I want to personally thank Dr. Don Menge for being on the show today. Dovid, thank you. Mr. Dovid, thank you. Miss Leslie, thank you. Don, do you have any books right there by you? Any of your books that you can hold up?
Oh, no. I actually donated them all before Christmas. So,
okay.
So
okay.
I don't have any.
I was hoping we'd be able to see the front of one of your books. And, you know, but it's okay. It's okay. And I don't know if you guys have any books. Do you have one of your books in front of you by chance, Leslie?
No, I'm in my bedroom so my kids don't yell in my face. So I'm stuck in the corner without any.
And I've never written a book. I'm so
without
sorry.
a child jumping in.
Okay. And Dovid just said he's never written a book, but that's okay. It's okay.
No,
Well, I want to thank you all for being on the program today, you know, and don't be a stranger. Be sure to come back. Once again, would somebody tell me the name of the initiative that you're doing for the book drive?
Sure. It's just called the Black History Month Book Initiative. Really simple. And we're going to get 7,000 books to 7,000 children throughout the month of February with your help.
Yes. I love it, Leslie. And once again, I'm going to share the website. Remember, there's several ways that you can help. Number one, you can spread out this video so that other people can know about the book drive and the initiative. Another way you could do is you could actually send money in, and you know what? They're a tax-exempt organization. You'll be able to use that for your tax purposes. Another way is to send as many books as you can. I'm saying 7. Dr. Dawn suggested 10.
10. It's an even number.
But you know what? The thing to do is just make sure that we do it. We're in this together, you know? We're in this together. I'm so excited about being a part of this. Oh, wow. So there's just been so many different comments. I haven't been able to reach all of them, but you got a thumbs up from one of the listeners, and someone else said excellent information, and they'll definitely reach out. So once again, listening audience, thank you for listening to my show, Mucho Dinero TV with Dr. Tonya. I want to thank Dr. Dawn. I want to thank Mr. Dovid. And I also want to thank Miss Leslie of Hindy's Libraries. Come on, you guys, we can do this. Come on, this is the United States. 7,000 books, no problem. We can do this. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Have an awesome day, everyone. Remember, share, and send those books. Thank you so much.
Thank you.